You're watching Your Future, Your Finances. Today we're talking with Chris Thomas, financial planner with Planning Solutions Group, regarding 401k planning and retirement. Welcome back, Chris.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks for coming on the show. So last segment we were talking about what CEOs, CFOs, HR departments, what all of them need to be aware of with the changes in the industry and things going on with 401ks. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, what I was referring to is this idea of fiduciary responsibility that's been around for a long time. And the Department of Labor has gotten pretty specific on some of the minimum things that companies should be doing to meet that fiduciary responsibility. And it's all about having a process and procedures and documenting those process and procedures. So as an example, one of the things, a minimum thing that companies should do is they should review their investments at least annually on within their 401k plan.
The lineup of investment
options.
The
lineup of the investment options. And even a better practice is to have something called an investment policy statement, which sort of gives you gives the guidelines for which funds might be included in the fund lineup and available to the employees, and which funds will be excluded. So rather than it's being kind of a subjective criteria, this has objective measurements that need to be met in order for funds to even be considered to be in the lineup.
Makes sense.
So having an investment policy statement and reviewing it regularly is something, a minimum duty that the company should take. The second thing is reviewing the fees and expenses within the plan. At least annually, it's a good idea to benchmark your plan fees against peer companies, so that you know you're paying reasonable fees. That's what the Department of Labor has suggested. You don't need to have the lowest fees. Just, are your fees reasonable compared to the industry?
And you can do that? You can benchmark them against peers or the industry?
Yeah, 401k advisors should have the tools and abilities to help you do that. And just keeping proper documentation that you're following those process and procedures is something the Department of Labor is going to want to see if you're ever audited.
And how about from a consumer's standpoint? Is there a way they can tell whether the fees are high inside of their company's 401k plan?
Yeah, they can go to, for companies over 100 employees, there's a good chance that a website called Brightscope has captured the fee data on your plan. You can review that information there. A lot of personal financial planning websites are now reporting what the fees are in a 401k plan. And then you can always go to your benefits department, ask them for the 408B2 fee disclosure and or the 404A5 notice, both of which are provided to the company annually by the service providers.
So switching gears for a moment from plan setup to what people need to be thinking about if they have a hope of retiring someday, which obviously many people do. What are some things to think about from standpoint of your 401k plan?
Yeah, so that's the most important thing, right? It's we have these plans set up, and all the rules and regulations are just meant to protect the employee. But from there, it's up to the employee to actually utilize the plan. And employees need to worry about two things. They need to worry about things they can control. They can control how much they save, just by managing a budget. The second thing is they can't control what the market's going to do, the ups and downs of the stock market, but they can control how much risk they take within their portfolio. So to the first point, we look at the savings to be sort of, it's sort of the gas in the tank. I mean, without it, the car is not going anywhere. You're not getting any closer to retirement if you yourself don't make the decision to save. So we try to encourage people to try to save at least 10 to 15% of their income per year into their retirement plan. If you're getting a later start, in your late 30s, 40s, and you don't have much by the way of retirement savings, you might need more. One of the things you want to make sure your 401k provider offers are some calculators and tools for you to use to do some self-assessments on how much retirement income you might need, and then how much you might need to save. So the second point that employees need to be aware of is diversifying their investments, right? Diversification is the old adage in investments. One of the things that we really like and that have become pretty mainstream in the retirement plan world are target date retirement funds. These are portfolios that evolve over time, and they get more conservative as you get closer to retirement, which is really what most people need and are going to want. You simply can't afford a 30-40% drop like we saw during the recession to your retirement assets. I a year before you retire. Just not enough time to see the comeback.
And there's different types of target date funds that look for different features within them as well. But yeah, they seem to be a very popular movement.
Yeah, we think they're a great tool for a lot of people.
Do you have a website you want to give out?
I do. The firm's website is www.psgplanning.com.
Okay, good. We're going to take another break. We'll be right back. You're watching Your Future, Your Finances. If you have any questions or topics or potential guests for the show you'd like to see interviewed, email questions@yfyfshow.com, and we'll be right back. Thanks very much.